Welcome to a session on the middle bit. Now we've done sessions on neck, shoulder, upper back, we've done stretches, we've done switching on exercises, we've done the same for the lower back. What I want to focus on today is the middle bit. This area is quite important because it's the transitional area. Anything where there's restriction in the upper part of the body or the lower part of the body, the movement has to transition through the middle part. So it's quite important that we maintain mobility through there and good function. But it's also important because it holds a very important piece of anatomy, and that is your diaphragm. So diaphragm is one of the muscles, one of the areas of the body that we can't rest ever. The diaphragm is constantly moving. Every breath you take, it's working, it's breathing in, breathing out. And with that diaphragm moving, what it's also doing is it's massaging the internal organs through this area. So we're talking about stomach, liver, things like that. All these organs that are doing jobs in the background that you're not even aware of or thinking about on a daily or moment basis. So there's quite a lot of important stuff going on there. So therefore we need to make sure that that area is functioning as well as it can. So when we do exercises, quite a lot of the time people do mention that this area does feel quite stiff and quite tight. And another reason can be is actually if you spend a lot of time sitting, this area of your spine, so this area through here, becomes the sort of slump part. And when you sit slumped, you end up compressing everything that goes on in this middle area, which means the diaphragm can't take a nice deep breath, so you're not getting that massive oxygenation through the blood, and you're also not getting as much sort of movement going down into your digestive system and organs like that. So let's look today at exercises that we can do to help improve the function, improve the movement that goes on through this middle area. So what we'll do first of all, first exercise is just focus on breathing. Now a lot of people tend to be chest breathers or shallow breathers, so it's important that we take a nice deep breath all the way down to the base of the lungs so that these lower ribs, where the diaphragm's actually attaching to, is getting enough movement going through there to actually create some good function. So get yourself either sitting cross-legged or come up a little bit taller so you've got room for the ribs to move, and put your hands onto the rib cage either side, and just take a few deep breaths in through the nose and feel, as you breathe in, feel the ribs really push out into your hands, and breathe out, just to feel the ribs just coming in closer together again. There we go. Let's do a few of those. There we go. So it's a deeper breath than you would normally take. Slowly in through the nose. Feel the hands widen as you breathe in, and as you breathe out, just passively let those hands come closer together. Good. So anytime doing these exercises, you can pause and do a few more, or I'll take you through the exercises and maybe you can take notes and do them at a later time when you would like to. So there's breathing as the first exercise. The next thing we want to just try and create a little bit of stretch through the back. So if you come into your child pose position, so sit down onto your heels and lengthen your arms out in front of you. Let your head rest down onto the mat so that you're really lengthening your arms as much as you can. This way you're getting that length, so your tailbone, your bottom is sitting down onto your heels and your shoulders are pushing forward. So we're trying to get that sort of lengthen through the whole of the spine. So pin your bottom down, lengthen your arms out, put your head down onto the mat. And again, from here, just take a deep breath. So think about that breath coming deep down into the rib cage again. Think about that lower part of the rib cage really expanding out. So you can just take time to do a few breaths here. Good. Maybe a few more if you have time to pause the video and do some more. But I'll take you through to the next exercise. So keep one arm straightened out in front of you in this child pose. And then with the other arm, find the gap underneath your shoulder where your armpit is, and slide the hand through. So you're kind of going at 90 degrees. So I've got one arm here lengthening to keep that stretch through the spine, and the other arm, as it stretches through, it's going to create a little bit of a sense of a sort of gapping between my shoulder blades. But you'll feel that stretch come right down into the middle section of the back. So here we go. So I'm going to push this hand all the way through so I can feel that stretch. Keep your bottom pinned down onto your heels. Keep stretching the other arm forwards. And again, just breathe. Good. And then when you're ready to take out that exercise, let's swap onto the other side. So the other arm goes straight out in front. The other arm's going to find that gap underneath your armpit and thread through. Head stays in a neutral position looking down. Stretch that arm through and just feel the stretch. So I can feel the gap between my shoulder blades and I can feel the length through that section of my back. Good. And just a few deep breaths. Perfect. And when you finish those, we're going to continue that exercise, but we're going to bring yourself all the way up onto all fours. So this time we're going to create a rotation, and this is a moving stretch to create the mobility through there. You're going to lift one hand off of the mat. You take a nice deep breath in, look up towards your hand, so I'm creating that rotation right through the rib cage here. And as I breathe out, it's going to come through again, threading through underneath your armpit, all the way through. If you drop your shoulder down, you'll feel the stretch come right across that section of your back there. Here we go, breathe in. So we're working with the breathing that's going to just encourage more movement through that area of your chest, your low back, upper lower back. There we go, breathe out, thread it through. Breathe in, come up. And breathe out, thread it through. Good. And then we'll swap onto the other side. So same again, you lift the hand, take a nice breath in as you reach up. You can see that rotation now happening through my spine. Breathe out, push it through. Head comes down, look towards your fingers. Breathe in, reach all the way up. And breathe out and thread it through. Breathe in. And breathe out, push it through. Breathe in, one more. And breathe out, thread it through. Perfect, good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at creating a little bit more rotation through there. And if possible, if we can sit into this position. Now, it's not always comfortable for everybody to sit in this position. Hips don't always like it. So if you are uncomfortable like this, you find a few pillows so that you lift your bottom up, so you're in kind of like a raised up position. That will take the pressure off your hips. Or you can sit with your legs crossed and do the exercise. Or if it really isn't working, pop yourself on a chair or get in touch. I'll show you exactly how to do it on a chair in another video. But those of you that can sit with me like this, here we go. The leg that's across in front of you, your hand goes out towards the side here. Other arm comes up towards the ceiling. Really reach, so we're already starting to get that length and starting to open up through the rib cage through there. First of all, we're just going to reach over to the side. So we're creating this nice stretch up and over. Okay, breathe in as your arm comes up and breathe out as your arm reaches over as far as it can go. As you start to feel the stretch, then start to let the bottom elbow bend so we can get deeper into a stretch. There we go, really. And as I tilt over, I'm almost lifting the ribs up towards the ceiling to create that extra stretch through there. There we go. And as that starts to become easier, we're going to add in the rotation as well. So for this one, I'll try and take that hand a little bit further forwards. I'm going to come over as I was doing, dropping the elbow down, and then twist the body. So I'm trying to reach past the other hand, and there I feel the stretch coming all the way through this section here, and then the hand comes up. There we go. So it comes over, drop the elbow, twist your ribs, your head over towards your hand that's on the floor. Breathing in as you come up. And breathing out, imagine you're blowing your hand away, reaching it as far forwards as you can. Breathe in, come up. And breathe out, stretch it as far over as you can. Breathe in to come up. And breathe out. Perfect. And then we'll swap over onto the other side. So spin your legs around. Again, you'll probably find that one side you can sit your legs this way easier than the other. So if this is uncomfortable, there are alternatives, which I can go through with you. So if you're with me like this, sit again up nice and tall. Hand with the leg that's in front of you goes towards you on the side. Other arm reaches up towards the ceiling. And we're just going to take a nice breath out, stretch over, really lift those ribs up towards the ceiling so you can feel that lengthen. There we go. Breathe out, lengthen. Breathe in, come back up. Breathe out. There we go. And then we start to bend the elbow as well, so we can take it over into a deeper stretch. That's it, drop the elbow down. Breathe in as you come back up. Breathe out as you reach over. There we go. You can feel it working through that middle section, but you'll also feel other bits are working. So for here, you're getting that length all the way up through the arm. Okay, let's take it into the rotation as well. So take that hand a little bit further forwards. As you come over, twist, drop your shoulders over towards the edge of your mat. Deep breath in as you come up and breathe out as you go over. Good. Breathe in as you come up and breathe out as you go over. Lovely. Breathe in to come up. Let's just do one more. Lovely. Okay. So, those exercises have worked well to try and lengthen and create some mobility through there. But as you know, as we've been going through this journey, the importance of mobility is not the whole picture. We also need to create some stability. So for all we've just lengthened those muscles, we need to know that we can also switch them on as well. So here are a couple of exercises or modifications of ones that we've just done where we start to switch on the muscles through there to make sure that they are actually functioning as well as they should be. So first one we're going to do, we're going to come back onto all fours. Okay. Now for this one, what I'm going to get you to do is put one hand up and behind your head. And from here, I want you to think about squeezing your shoulder blades together as you lift your elbow up towards the ceiling. Now that is going to start to switch on those muscles through the lower part of your upper back. And as you come through, I want you to think about drawing your elbow towards the opposite elbow. Good. So it's a sort of stretch and a switch on at the same time. So we're going to breathe in, lift the elbow high. And breathe out and take it down and through. Breathe in, lift the elbow high. And breathe out and drop the elbow through. There we go. So you probably want to repeat probably about 10 of these on each side when you do your little exercise. Let's just show you how it's going to go on the other side. So again, hand comes out level with my ears. Lift up, switch those muscles on. There we go. Elbow comes down through to the opposite elbow. Breathe in, reach up, breathe out, come through. I can really feel those muscles really engaging. Super. Breathe in, come up, and breathe out, come down. Just do one more. Good. And then because we've done a switching on exercise, let's just check it's still staying nice and mobile. And again with the breathing, this is another nice exercise you can just do as a standalone exercise. Breathe in, take a real deep breath in and round the spine up, and breathe out, sink through. So this moves the whole of the spine. But if you think about that transition of moving between one area and the other, it's a nice continual flow movement which allows all of the sections of the spine to do what they should be doing. So breathe in, tuck under, push your shoulder blades up, and breathe out, sink down. Low back's dipping down, upper back's arching up. That middle bit's getting that full range of movement. Perfect. Okay, we finished that one up and we're going to get you to come and sit with your legs out nice and straight. So again, we're going to do another switching on exercise through here. Arms are going to come forwards in front of you.
I have nothing on my calendar.
Oh, I'm sure he's going to speak to me. Okay, so from here, you're going to draw one elbow back. Think about twisting from that middle section of your back. So that's where your pivot point is going, and your elbow is going to draw all the way back. So we're getting maximum rotation through that middle section of your spine. You can lengthen the other arm out, so we're getting that full rotation, and then sink through, and lengthen the arm out, twist through the middle section. Okay, so there is no extra work through your neck. It's not your neck, your shoulders, or anything that's leading. It's all coming through this middle section. Lengthen the arm out, draw the elbow really deep back. There we go. And stretch through. So this is a really good rotation exercise. So you can do it as, this is the bow and archer, the bow and arrow, or the archer that we would use in Pilates. You could also turn it into a spine twist as well, because this integrates the whole rotation through the spine, so we can keep arms out in front and rotate both sides. Again, focusing on the movement through here, but for this, well, both of these exercises, the movement, you have to twist through the whole spine, but the maximum amount of rotation is happening through this middle section. So we do a few. Come into the centre, breathe out as you twist round to the side, and breathe in as you come back to the centre. out, and breathe in. Good. So you've got a couple of options for rotation exercises through there. And then I would probably always finish off your little mobility session with something that integrates all the movement together. So you can go back into that cat-cow exercise, or one of my absolute favourites exercises would go into the shoulder bridge, which we all know how to do this one, but we'll just refresh your memory. Coming onto your back, keeping your feet hip width apart, keeping your feet nice and light. Think first of all just about tilting the hips back. Switch on through your glutes, so switching on through the pelvis, through your glutes, and use your glutes to peel you up. So you're moving each of those bones one at a time, all the way, lifting them through from the mat, and then placing them back down one by one as you're curling each of those bones back down into position onto the mat. And this is a nice exercise to sort of have a look at your progress, because it should be a nice flowing, continual, smooth movement. But if you have any areas of restriction or tension, you'll find that they either, well, you'll really notice that they can't move, but they'll feel sort of really jerky and juddery as you try to move through those sections. So it's quite a nice one to repeat a number of times throughout your week, so you can see how well your spine is actually coping with just general movement. So we'll just do a few of those. And then the last one, squeeze through the glutes, peel yourself up, lift, and then lower yourself down one by one. Perfect. Okay, so there are a few exercises that you can do which will focus on this middle bit. Like I say, quite important for the breathing and the function of all of your organs and your systems and stuff. What I suggest you do is, if you are having troubles through that area, that you repeat this exercise, or you repeat this little sequence a couple of times, either every day or every other day throughout your week. Probably trying to lengthen the number of times. I've done it as a demonstration here, but once you get used to doing the exercises, lengthen it out a little bit more, so you're doing at least 10 reps of each of the exercises, and hopefully that will help you keep that mobility going on through there. As always, if you have any questions or queries, please do get in touch. I'm more than happy to answer any questions along the way. Thank you.